Hey guys, Will here with the friend links,
Hey guys.
and today we don't really have a specific topic, just like kind of a bunch of topics today, and I don't know which one your trivia question pertains to, but
Oh, okay. And before we get started, we got some new logos for
oh, we
our
did.
yeah. I also got a new mic, so if it sounds a little bit better, that's good. Um
See,
what
we're
else,
moving
William?
up.
We saw a few more people subscribe, so thank you for that. We really do appreciate that.
We're getting
Um
more viewers in the past couple of years, so that's also
yes.
very cool.
It's very exciting. So the trivia question for today, William, I thought this was an interesting one. I was looking up some trivia questions and I came across this one. So, what disability does Hawkeye struggle with?
So if we're talking about the show, probably hearing loss.
Okay, this is the correct answer. And
If you say
so
he's
in the
colorblind,
comics, no,
I'm
I
gonna
said
lose
that
it.
was the correct answer. Uh,
Okay.
no, yeah, within the comics, he struggles with hearing loss, and I think they're incorporating it into the show a little bit.
Well, you didn't see the third episode, but it
Yes,
does.
in the third episode yet, but um, it seems really interesting. So I've never been a huge Hawkeye fan. I have a friend who loves Hawkeye. One of his favorite comic book series is Old Man Hawkeye. So
Ooh.
not been a huge fan, but been around a lot of people and heard a lot of good things about Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. Actually, I've heard good things about her as well. So very very excited to talk about the first two episodes of the show.
Yeah. So that's one of the things we're gonna be talking about. Then we're gonna go over a couple more things, but let's start with Hawkeye.
Ooh, are we gonna go? Oh, we're just gonna. I think we're. Should we say what we're gonna go over?
Yeah, you know what? That's smart. You're smart. So we're gonna be talking about Halo Infinite also because didn't release, but its beta dropped. It's a whole thing I'll explain. But Halo Infinite's basically out. Then just a few days ago, um, the new season or part of JoJo released, which is pretty big for the anime community. And then we're also going to talk about the Pokemon games that we've kind of neglected to touch on since like watching the trailers, which is what was it, Shining Diamond and Brilliant Purple
Brilliant, yeah,
Pearl.
brilliant diamond and shining pearl. So,
No, I think it's the opposite.
if we have time, we may talk about uh,
Tips for
yeah,
new
tips
people
for
trying to
new
get
people
comics.
collecting comic books because I've recently gotten into comic books. So, let's start with Hawkeye. With the first two episodes, we're just reviewing the first two episodes. We will probably come back and do a season review once it finishes, but we just don't want to review everything and then have nothing left to review at the end.
Yeah.
So, initial thoughts, William. What did you think about it?
So for transparency, I have seen the third episode, but I'm gonna try to like leave that out of my opinion. Kind of just think on the first two. Um, for my initial thought of it, Hawkeye hasn't really had that much love movie wise, and so I'm pretty happy that he finally got something. Wasn't a
I
movie,
totally agree.
but it was a TV show.
Ronan, I know you're a huge fan of Ronan
I
within the
was.
MCU. Um, I remember when that came out, William was so excited. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Ronan's so cool," and I totally agree. And it's really nice to see Hawkeye because the actor, I can't remember his name right now.
I
He's
think
pretty
it's
good in
Jeremy
this.
Renner
Yes,
or
he's done
something
a
like
pretty
that.
good job with the character, and he's definitely undervalued. So
I think they're doing a good job with the world building because the situation he's in, you can't like ask for an Avenger to help because the
that's true.
Avengers don't exist anymore. You
Yes, it
know?
is very interesting, and I like just a little detail, not trying to spoil too much. In the show, they made Kate Bishop's origin or the reason she wanted to become a superhero due to Hawkeye in the original Avengers movie, and I really enjoyed that. It's a really cool scene, and it really ties stuff together.
Yeah. And I think the show is doing a lot to introduce new characters. Like at the end of episode 2, you see Echo, which is a cool character that's tied to Kingpin in the comics. So that's probably a good sign for Daredevil and possibly other MCU Netflix show characters coming in.
Except Danny Rand, because everybody hated that Iron Fist show.
I hated it, but I liked him in parts, in doses, not like him all the time, like part of it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, do we want to dip in spoilers for the first two?
I don't know if we want to really go into spoilers because the main thing I was thinking with this is I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on Hawkeye. And so if you're one of those people that's hurt like on the border of watching Hawkeye or not watching Hawkeye, I mean, I say this with every MCU show. I didn't really care for What If. I didn't really care for Captain or sorry, what was it? Falcon and the Winter
Falcon and Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
And but they are essential to the MCU, it seems, and it does seem the MCU is incorporating a lot of that stuff. So I would recommend, even if it will be a subpar show, to watch it, but I do not think it will be.
I think it's going to be good, actually.
I think it will be a good show as well. Out of all the shows, I mean, I'm probably the only person in the world that was like not okay with Loki just because they continued the plot holes from Avengers Endgame, which I did not care for, but uh,
I mean, Loki
but
was a good show besides
it
the time
it
travel
was a
plot
good
hole.
show. I just get caught up on that type of stuff. So this is probably the only other MCU show to have a good beginning, I think.
Well, I
Or,
think
or did Falcon and the Winter Soldier have a good beginning? I can't remember.
the beginning of that, you saw some like cool fight scenes, but I think it was okay. I can't really remember, which means it
Yeah.
wasn't really bad and it wasn't really good. It
So
was
I
okay.
feel like this will be like Loki. Loki, maybe not to that extent, because the first two episodes of Loki were insane. You're like, what is going on here? The TVA is crazy. But it seems to, from what I see, I think it's going to be a really good show.
Well, I feel like this show is different from the others because it's more human focused, where it's like there's no alien threats or any super technology things going on. It's a guy with a bow and arrow
That's
with a
true.
disability.
Yes, and so another thing is mm, another critique I've heard of the Marvel shows is they're trying to be something more than TV shows. Um, you know, I really don't think this one is because there's a scene in particular, and people have like said, "Oh, I love it. Oh, I hate it." But it feels like a TV show in that scene. It was pretty funny, I thought. And do you
What
know what
scene?
scene I'm talking?
Oh, you mean in the second episode?
Yeah,
The part that I was cringing at?
yeah.
It was it was funny, but it was just like just cringing me. 'Cause I was like, "Oh gosh, this is so," like, I put my mind into his mind, and I was like, "This is how I would feel about the situation." I'd be cringing the whole time, but it was pretty fun.
And that really did feel like a TV show. And maybe I'm wrong on that analysis because, of course, I haven't seen episode 3. Maybe they are trying to build something grand, but I just really think it's a really relaxed show, and you can have fun watching it.
So, for since you mentioned it, it does feel more like an actual TV show, like the things that they're implementing, where it's like, I mean, it's a story about Hawkeye trying to get everything settled so he can be home for Christmas. It's like one of those old movies where it's like, oh, we got to get there on Christmas Day, and there's like some thing stopping them from doing it. You know,
Yeah.
usually not action, usually comedy movies like that. But I feel like the third episode, you haven't seen it sometimes now. It's more action packed, so it's more than a TV show because of the action in it. Is what I would say.
Yeah. I was recently talking with some friends as well. And one of them asked me just because a lot of people I know, they don't really like they know the MCU, but they don't know anything like a lot more and they're like, "Well, can the Avengers be established from here?" And I said, "Of course. What do you think they're building to? They're building to the young Avengers, they're building to establish the new Avengers. I mean, this is a really big building phase. So,
Yeah,
I'd say even more so than phase 1 possibly. Because phase 1, they had this grand idea, right? They didn't know if it was going to work. But once Iron Man came out, they're like, "Okay, this is probably good." You know?
mhm.
So, right now, the next 1 or 2 phases are going to be building phases. Which Kang might be a building villain. He might be building to Doctor Doom. He might be building to Galactus. We do not know. Um, but I would say take everything within this phase of the MCU with a grain of salt. Because it's not going to be your favorite. It may not be the best, but it's going to end up pretty awesome, I believe. As long as the writing stays good and
As long as
everything
time
else.
travel doesn't mess it up.
Of course, yeah. They need to pick a side on that. They need to pick whether they're going to do a multiverse or a time stream. It's weird. But I think it has a lot of potential, especially with the X-Men showing up, the Fantastic Four showing up. Spider-Man's coming out. We'll see how that is. If you'd like, comment down below if you'd like us to do a review. William's gonna see it a few days later. I already have my tickets. So we'll try to put that out as soon as possible. Just because I know that's a really exciting time, and I know everybody's really excited about that, including us. Um,
Tobey Maguire,
oh yeah, William.
my king,
Yeah.
Bully
So
Maguire.
what? Sorry, side tangent off of Hawkeye. So, have you ever heard like who's your favorite Spider-Man and who's your favorite Peter Parker and who do you think was the best as both? Have you heard that?
I've Yeah, sure. I've heard that. That's been a thing for a while, though, right? Where
Yeah,
people
it's
have
for a
always done it.
while. What do you think about that? Like, who do you think was the best Spider-Man? Who do you think was the best Peter Parker? Who do you think's the best in general?
So, okay, so look wise, I want to talk about completely look wise. Um, the best Peter Parker, cosmetically speaking, is Tom
Peter
Holland.
Parker or
He's the one that.
Spider-Man?
Well, it's like this, right?
Or
Peter
both?
Parker. I'm saying like who does the better role as like not like so Spider-Man is not just Spider-Man. He's Peter Parker. He has that life too.
Yes.
The one that best shows that he has a whole other life besides Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire. But the one that looks most like a teenager is Tom Holland, right?
Yes.
So it's like I like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man the best and his Peter Parker the best. But the person who has the best look out of it is probably Tom Holland, Peter Parker wise, but the spider suit wise, I would actually say I like the classic Spider-Man suit from Tobey Maguire's movies, the Sam
Hmm.
Raimi ones.
Interesting. I I honestly really do like the suit in the new movies. So with Tom
hmm
Holland. But I really do love the Amazing Spider-Man suit too. Like that just felt
I like the second Amazing Spider-Man suit, not the first one. I feel like they don't do the spider justice, you know, like the spider on the chest of the suit,
fair enough.
because like the Tom Holland one, it's just like a small baby spider on his chest, basically. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. All right. Well, I guess my opinion's been changing. So I've always said best Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire, best Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. And like the middle, like the best of both, Tom Holland. I don't think that anymore.
Yeah.
I think Tobey Maguire, like going back and just like thinking about it, is the best of both. I just, my opinion, like just thinking about the past two new Spider-Man movies, I didn't really care for Tom Holland. I don't think his acting was strong, but hopefully the third movie will change that.
I mean, I agree because it just it feels like the best Spider-Man was the first one. I mean, Andrew Garfield had his okay. One thing that Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies don't touch on is the Peter Parker son. Like they really don't.
That's true.
Like you have the whole thing where okay, well, for the first Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you have plots and subplots focused on stuff that don't involve him being Spider-Man, like his relationship with Mary Jane, with his best friend, right? Of course, the issues are caused because he is Spider-Man, but he has a whole life out of outside of being Spider-Man. That's why Spider-Man
That is
2
very true.
is such a good movie because it shows how Spider-Man's ruining his life.
That is true. And so I'm sorry we just keep talking about Spider-Man. We're just like really like, you
I like
know,
Tobey Maguire.
well yeah, also that, but we were also very like excited and worried for the new movie. Which overall I'm pretty excited. I feel like it will be a good movie. Um but I'm also there is some hesitation because I'm like, what if they do this? What if they do that? Because this is like to be dramatic, this is the culmination of our childhoods.
Yes, very dramatic. There
Yeah,
was a
so
meme I saw where it's like it's Sony talking, right? Sony says, um, "You saw how I added 3 or more villains to these last 2 movies, where and the movies were Spider-Man 3 and then Amazing Spider-Man 2."
Yes.
And then he said, "Watch me do it again." And then it shows, what's the name of this movie? What is this new Spider-Man movie called? Far From Home? Or is that the last
No
one?
Way Home.
No Way Home. And it shows in Spider-Man No Way Home because they're having more than 3 villains.
Yeah, I saw one with like a SpongeBob meme and it was like, uh, having lots of villains in the last movie or something. It was like, it was funny, but it,
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
oh, okay, yeah,
It was a good meme.
it was a good meme. We'll see if we can find the meme and
Yeah, if I find it, I'll put it in the it'll be shown right now.
all right.
Hopefully I found it. Because if I didn't, there's no meme. But
So
yes,
back to Hawkeye, I guess.
shot guy.
So
I don't know. I think it's gonna be good, but not like the best. I feel like it's gonna be the best human focused one, where it's actually focused on people instead of magics and stuff like that. I mean, WandaVision did focus a lot on its characters, but I feel like this is gonna be the TV show from Marvel that focuses the most on characters and their emotions and their problems.
I totally agree. I feel like it will be a good TV show, and if you're on the edge, just watch it. Like I think it will be well worth it. I
They
think
have
you'll
Steve
enjoy it.
Rogers, the musical.
Yes, Rogers the musical alone is enough to start watching that show. And that's not much of a spoiler because that's the beginning scene.
Yep.
So I guess we're moving on.
Yep.
Oh, also comment down below if you like the Hawkeye show. What are your thoughts and opinions on it? Like we want to hear what you think because I've heard a lot of opinions on it. It's very interesting because it does seem to be very mixed. And I'm very intrigued by that because I don't feel like any other Marvel show so far has had this mixed of opinions. And I know it's because it's not done yet, but also it is kind of weird.
Do we
So,
know how many episodes it's gonna have?
give me 1 minute.
Mhm. Okay, will consist of
6
6. Okay, yep,
episodes. So, I
yep,
guess
6
we're
episodes.
almost there. It makes sense because I bet they would want to get it out by Christmas
Yeah, if Lincoln
because that's the
had
whole.
watched the 3rd episode, it could be a mid-season review.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'm blaming you.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, so I guess we'll go over this more spoiler in a few weeks around Christmas time if
Probably.
you're interested. We're just trying not to spoil everything because I know the show is probably a little bit newer and a lot of people were not aware of its release. So,
Like, I didn't realize they put the first 2 out, like,
I
back
know
to
I
back.
watched one and then I think you texted me something like, "Oh, did you watch the first 2 episodes?" And I was like, "No, I only watched the one." Or no, I texted you, I watched the first episode. And then you said something like, I can't remember, but I was like, what? But
I was like, I hadn't seen them. I said I'm pretty sure I said I hadn't seen the 2 episodes yet.
yes, and then I was like, wait, there's two. So I watched the other one. So honestly, I don't think you'll be mad at me for this, but watch the show. Like
Yeah, just watch it.
it could end up being a terrible show. There's always that potential, but I
It's
don't think
only
it will be.
6 episodes of your time. You know,
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
it's not that deep.
it's not. And if you do have the time, I think it's worth the watch. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
All right, so William, I believe you're going to talk about Halo Infinite.
Yes, sir. So, um, here's just a few things to preface. Okay. Okay. So, Halo Infinite. Okay, so it's been like 5, almost 6 years from since the last Halo game was released. That was back in, I think, 2015. So it was, or 2017, something like that. And they, as a 20th anniversary to Microsoft for, I think, the Xbox or something like that, released the beta for the multiplayer to the public, right? So on, I think, November 12th or something like that, they had released it. And they were going to keep the beta open until the game actually released. So the multiplayer for the game is out. It's been out for like a month.
That's pretty cool.
And, everyone's been pretty excited. I've been playing it a lot. And we got some bad news the other day. The bad
What
news
happened?
is that everyone who was playing the beta was like, oh, this is just the beta. They're going to like add more game types and add more stuff when the game actually releases. They said no. On
Oh, dang.
release, they won't be adding more stuff.
Well,
Well, I mean, they're going to
that's
add
good
stuff
and bad
eventually,
news
right? But it's
because
not
they said on release, so
yes. But everyone's like, man, this sucks because it's you can't select what matches you're going to be playing. You can only play like you hit like quick play or like big team battle or ranked, and it puts you in a random map and play type. So, like, let's
oh,
say
that
you're
is
playing Capture the
weird.
Flag, or you're playing King of the Hill, which is basically their version is called like Oddball, but like you carry the ball around or something like that. You can't choose which game types you want to play. You can only just randomly be put into one at
Okay,
that
so
moment.
if you're playing a ranked match, you randomly put into a different, like a random style of play.
Yeah.
That does not seem right.
Same thing with quick play and big team battle. You don't get to choose what kind of matches you want to play. You're just like,
That's weird.
here are the 3 choices: ranked, big team battle, quick play. You'll be put in a random subset of those, depending on which one you click on. Which, that's pretty dumb. I hope they fix that at least. But besides that, it's a pretty good game. They've updated some of the XP issues that it's been having, so that's good. Basically,
Wait, so
on yeah,
only the multiplayer release? There was no story released yet with it?
no, the story comes out on its actual official release date,
What is that then?
December 8th.
Oh, that's not too far away at all.
Yeah, so when it comes out and I get it downloaded, I'll be doing a campaign playthrough on my YouTube
On your
channel,
channel.
probably.
So,
It's been like 6 months since I posted on there, but I'll be putting that as like my first thing back, probably.
alright, so if you guys are interested in watching the new Halo game, go to William's channel Ops King and you can watch it there. It's where we used to do our old podcast and it's a pretty cool channel.
When I actually post them. on it. But anywho, so Halo Infinite, it is a good game. The multiplayer is free for anyone to play, so anyone can play it. You have a computer, you have an Xbox, you can play it. The only thing you
I have a
can't do is
PlayStation.
if you have a PlayStation, you can't play it. Because why would Microsoft let PlayStation play their game, Lincoln? Why would they do that?
I don't know.
See,
I feel like that's a problem. Like
how is that a
certain
problem?
companies, certain companies, like I don't know. You think it'd be more profitable to allow it to everyone? Like,
It's a free-to-play game.
well, if it was like charge a price on like PlayStation or something.
Well, I get that, but they don't want people to play it on Sony devices. They want it to all be on either computers from Xbox, because you can play Xbox games on the computer now. It's all like Xbox and Windows, you know?
I guess I understand that, but also at the same time, I do think it's still weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's cross-play for Windows and Xbox players at least, so you can play with your friends on the computer if you're playing on your Xbox.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, I mean, it's a good game. The campaign comes out December 8th. It officially releases December 8th. It's gonna be a good time.
Sounds
So
like a good time.
so the next thing is another thing that I'm gonna be mostly talking about, and Nick is just gonna chill here probably for a minute or two. Interject when you want to. When you want to.
Okay, because I watched the
Gosh.
intros.
Yes, I forced you to watch the intros. But
Yeah, they were pretty good actually. So
they got good music.
they
So
do.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, its sixth part has been released on Netflix. If you want to, it's just like everyone and Lincoln. They have basically the full series, except for like the ones that haven't been adapted from the manga/comic. All the animated ones are on Netflix. You can watch them all in English if you want to. You can watch them in Japanese if you want them with subtitles. You can do either or. Those are available to you. I would personally recommend, um, because I've watched the series twice now because I watched it recently with someone else. I've seen it all in English and seen it all in Japanese with English subtitles. So I know, in my opinion, I can give an opinion on which ones I think are better. So I haven't seen actually part six in how much of part six they've already done. So far, it's only 12 episodes, but I haven't seen that in English, only the subtitles one. But the first part, the second part, I would recommend watching those in Japanese with English subtitles. But you could watch the second part in English. Um, I wouldn't recommend watching the first part because I feel like that's a lot boring. Just for some reason in English, it's a lot boring to watch it.
Well,
And
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. I know there's some people that are like, oh, anime should be watched in Japanese, or some people are like, oh, I like watching in English, you know. But I really do think from what I've seen, because like I haven't watched a lot of anime, right? But I have watched some scenes with you in like Japanese, and it does seem to have more emotion and stuff.
yeah. It's just I don't know why it's like that, but it's kind of like how Squid Game came out.
Yes.
and everyone was saying you have to watch it in its native language because the dub is atrocious.
Yeah.
That's kind of how a lot of people view it, English dub in the anime community. But there are some really good ones out there, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's really good in English. One Punch Man, pretty good in English. My Hero is good in English. I would say. I said Japanese is better, but it's good in English. And that's kind of like how it is with JoJo. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I would say, honestly, is better to watch it all in the Japanese sub. I mean, uh, in Japanese with English subtitles, because a lot of the jokes are meant to be from the Japanese perspective. As in, like, an example is in Japanese, there's a lot of words that they substitute with English words because they don't have those words, right? And so you have a lot of situations where they're like saying things with English put into it, and it's supposed to be just like part of it. Like there's a whole part in part three where one character who speaks, they're all in Japanese, but then whenever he's shocked, he says, "Oh my good," in like Japanese, right?
Yeah.
But he says it like in English. It's just a meme. The memes all come from the Japanese ones. It's funnier. It's way funnier and way more entertaining in the Japanese one. Though I get it if you want to watch in English because sometimes you don't want to actually like focus on the subtitles. You want to like watch. I would say it kind of takes away from the emotion and how it was supposed to be watched. But each to their own. You can watch all of them in English if you want to. They're all on Netflix.
Yeah, so I also, as someone who's not really watched a lot of anime, I watched, so I was watching My Hero in English, and then I went to go watch it in Japanese with subtitles, and I was like, what is going on? Because all the voice actors were different, and I didn't know who was talking. So,
Yeah,
if you are binging a show or an anime, I would recommend watching it in Japanese, just because you get to familiarize yourself with the voices, and of course, when it first comes out, it's going to be in Japanese.
yeah. That's if it's like a currently airing show. But Netflix took the
Yes.
courtesy of releasing English with the Japanese at the same
Oh,
time.
they did. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
But yeah, it's a good show. Everyone should try to watch it. But let me give a warning here. It is
It is bizarre.
pretty, yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
I stole your joke.
Yeah, you did.
Um,
I'll let
so
you talk for a bit now with the next topic.
so William got his two topics. I guess I get my topic. Which
Your
you
two
killed
topics.
it. You
You have the
killed it
comic
in.
thing and the Pokemon.
Oh, I have the Pokemon thing. I haven't played the Pokemon game yet. I thought we were both going to talk about that.
We are both going to talk about the Pokemon thing, but I'm making it part of your thing because I talked about two things. Only is
Oh,
fair,
okay.
but
I guess that's fair.
I'll talk in when I feel like it.
So, William, recently, I've been collecting comic books.
You have. He has an addiction.
Yes,
He needs
I
help.
do have an addiction. It's a problem, and I don't want you all to suffer from it. Um, so I'm gonna just give you some tips and tricks. I haven't been a comic book collector for a long time. I collected some comic books when I was younger, but I recently got really into it. And it started out. Well, I've always been into superheroes, I guess. So I'm not going to tell my whole life story about superheroes. But
You've already kind of discussed that,
yeah,
and actually in a previous video.
that's true. And What video was that, William? That was
It was I think the media that made us.
Media That Made Us. Yes. I couldn't remember the specific name, but go back and watch that if you want to
At
hear.
the top right, there should be a little link there because I can do that. I can make that happen.
Good one, because there's a link right there. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a link right there.
So basically, what happened is, I don't know. When I moved off to school, I decided, I really want New Teen Titans #2. It's one I've wanted for years. It's the first appearance of Deathstroke. So I bought it in a 9.0. Very happy with that. Probably didn't pay what I should have paid for it, but that's fine.
It's done.
And then after that, I kept thinking, well, I need to buy all these big comic books, and I bought the one that I'm probably like, what the heck did I just do? Was Secret Wars #8 and a 9.8. That was oh crap moment. That was like, probably should not have clicked it, but I'm very happy to have it, of course, especially with the new Spider-Man movie coming out. Might have heard me mention on previous podcasts that, I really hope Venom does something big. It's because I have the first appearance of the Venom symbiote.
But he's not in it. So
yeah, so that's why I've been mentioning stuff like that.
I hope he is in it as like a surprise.
Who is?
Venom.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. It'd be really cool if the symbiote suit, like if he had the symbiote suit in like one of the post-credit scenes. But regardless, that's just dreams. It's gonna happen eventually. But so I would say when you're starting collecting out comics, you have all these ideas like, I need to get all these old comics, I need to do this, I need to do that. And maybe you can afford it, but it is expensive. It really is. Especially at the moment, the market is going crazy, and if you want, there's some comics that's I will never own. And that's something you have to accept. Like, one right now that's probably going to go up crazy in value, Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine. It's around a $6,000 comic. I will probably never own that comic. I have to accept that fact.
Cope with it.
Yeah, maybe you're in a different situation where you're like, I can afford this, I can do that. Good for you. But there are some comics you will never own unless you're really rich. And which then I don't know what to tell you. But
yeah.
So I went from buying these big comics, then I went to buying like medium size, like, what did I say, medium size, like mid expensive comics, like probably $50 to $100 comics. And now what I've started doing is I've started buying them weekly, which so like when new issues come out, I just pick up the issues I like. If a new series intrigues me, I buy the first issue and I'm like, okay, let's see what we like from here. And I do recommend doing it that way. So the things I recommend doing when collecting comic books: trade paperbacks. It has the whole series, good series to start off in. I'm a huge DC fan. Flash Rebirth, Volume 1, really good series. Get in trade paperback. I also like the new Teen Titans series, which goes into the Tales of the Teen Titans series. Good series. I recommend reading it. Introduces a lot of characters like Deathstroke and Trigon. But anyways, get the trade paperbacks and buy some weekly issues, I'd say, and maybe go and save for like bigger issues later. There's still some I want to get. Like, I'd love to get the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. It's Uncanny X-Men. I can't remember the number right now. I'd also love to get a lot of comics. Like Infinite Crisis is about to go crazy because of Blue Beetle, of course. So
Oh yeah.
I would love to get all those, but you have to be reasonable with your money when it comes to this because it's really easy to spend a lot. Because I know I could buy this, but does that mean I should? Well, no, it doesn't, because that's not being a smart steward of my money. That's the
Being
main thing I'd say.
fiscally responsible.
Yeah, just be responsible. And like,
Just be responsible.
yeah, if you guys have like, I'm not really insane when it comes to telling like speculations or like undervalued comics. Like, I'm not really the guy for that. But if you do ever like want to reach out and say, hey, do you think this is a good?
Goodbye.
Sorry, no, sorry. I got a phone call. A good investment. I will tell you, I think this is a good investment, or I think this is a bad investment. I've done this with a few friends. I've gotten a few friends in the comic books, and they keep sending me comic books. Like, do you think this is a good investment? No, but I think this one is. So, if you, I guess, just put in the chat, hey, do you think this comic book is a good investment? And I'll take a look into it for sure, and try to and give you my opinion on it, which my opinion is not the final opinion. Ultimately, it's up to you. So, but I'll just give you my thoughts and ideas on it. But going back to what I recommend doing, my preference is DC, so I pick up a few DC comics, maybe one or two Marvel comics, in the month, and I just recommend like finding something. Right now, I have a series I'm really liking. It's called DC versus Vampires, and highly recommend that series. Just came out like a month ago, a month or two ago, just sometime around then. Just find a series that you like. You don't have to overextend yourself with that. I would mainly say a lot of collecting is not overextending yourself. Which you can do that with new issues too, because it's $4.99 adds up, and like some, I just recently bought one that was it was Batman Villains Annual #1 or something. It was a $10.99 comic, and it really does add up. But just find something you like and stick with it. Which you can try new stuff. But don't overextend yourself in that, and also save up your money to buy stuff that you think you would like to invest in. And you won't always have that opportunity, because the big determining factor in the value of comics right now is the movies and TV shows, of course. Like Echo went crazy when that was announced. And also, do not try to buy at a peak of a comic book. That's not a good idea. I have a bunch of tips and tricks, but that I've learned, but do your research, read trade paperbacks, buy new issues, and save up your money to buy the issues you want. Unless you already have it, then, and you're like, oh man, I really like this issue. I've been dreaming of buying this issue, and you have the money, go for it. I mean, but really take time and consideration to think about it. Yeah, and I guess that's it. Not an expert by any means. Just really starting out as a collector. I've read a lot of comic series. When I was I guess when I was like a teenager, I was really into comics. So I know quite a bit about comics. Not everything, of course. I'm not like insane. But if you have any like speculation comics, you're like, I think this will be good, I think that will be good, I will tell you, which I guess I could. No, it's okay. I guess we could do another video of like speculations, but I don't know if you guys want to hear that. If you guys want to hear that, really tell me, and William and I will work on that video.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I guess moving on to our final topic is January 28th is when Pokemon Arceus comes out, so it's not too far ahead. So if you're still on the edge about it and you're like, I don't really know. Pokemon Arceus comes out soon, so I personally have not played Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. I don't have any desire to really play it. Actually,
Me
I'll take
neither.
that back. I
I
may have
mean,
some
I
desire
take
to
that back
play it.
too. Uh-huh. Uh, I'm
Oh, yeah,
joking.
you don't have a Switch.
I own a computer. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say
Oh,
anything
okay.
else. I'm not gonna incriminate myself. Let's just say I might be able to play it right now. I just haven't looked into it.
Okay, William.
That's right.
Well,
Computers are best.
I've heard good things about it, and my big thing for not buying it is I don't want to buy another Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which I know I I think I have an unpopular opinion on that as well, which I didn't really care for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Um I remember back in high school I played the emulator, like I downloaded an emulator on my phone and played Pokemon Red, Fire
Fire Red.
yeah, we played Fire Red one time, I think. We played Pokemon Yellow, I played Pokemon Red. We just play and like compare our game progress or whatever, and I'd be like, "Well, I got this Pokemon." He's like, "Oh, I got this Pokemon."
We even did some randomizers too.
Yes, we did, and I really didn't think it was like that the first game too much. I just didn't love it as much. But I've heard that it's not like Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. I heard it's pretty good. It's pretty fun, and
It's more like Omega Ruby and Omega Sapphire
yeah,
than Let's Go
Omega
Eevee.
Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is like an insane game. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
pretty good.
a really good remake. I don't know if it's on that level.
I mean,
So
what's the new thing? I forget. It was like so they added Mega Evolutions and Primal modes, right? What was it now?
it's Gigantamax.
Well, they added Gigantamax. Then they added. Isn't there like a special thing where it's like Origin or something?
Oh, did they do that?
I thought we talked about this at one point where it was like they added a new mode or something. I'm probably just crazy.
No, we
But
did talk about that being a possibility.
oh, a possibility. Okay.
Which there is an Origin Giratina, but
Okay. That's probably what I was thinking then. But so they added so this has Gigantamax in it.
I don't think so. It probably has a new form. I don't know though. I'm not seeing one cut and clear.
I don't know. It
Um,
looks like a decent remake for sure.
yeah, I'm interested in it. Take our word with a grain of salt because we have not played it, so
Yep.
we do not know much about it. But we're just thinking out loud about it, which I don't know.
I
Honestly,
mean, we
not
could
into too.
maybe play it on our channel. Could
We
maybe.
could maybe play it. I'll have to maybe get it and then see what we can do about it. Um,
I mean, that's if that's what the
yeah,
viewers.
if you guys want us
Do.
to, of course, we can do that. Comment down below if you'd like us to do an actual review of this game. Um, or actually play it on the channel, whatever one. Um,
Yep.
but I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not, just because I haven't liked the last Pokemon game, Sword and Shield, so I'm just trying to take a break from Pokemon right now. I didn't even play the DLC for the second DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I bought it, so I don't know. Just kind of
Yeah,
not bored of the mechanic, just they're not adding a lot to the game to make it worth it, I don't think. Which I heard there's Manaphy in the game, so if you're that's
a man
one
if
of
you
the only
stand.
ways to get the Manaphy, so if you want Manaphy, then go for it, but uh I'm not exactly sure if Manaphy's in the game. I just saw
Wait a minute.
a video.
Did they skip over gold and silver?
No, Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
No, but I mean, like, I understand that, right? They did hard gold and soul silver, but they didn't make a 3D game version, which I think would have been actually good.
Well,
So I feel
yeah,
like
but like
that's like a
Heart Gold
highlight
and Soul
of the series.
Silver is like so crazy as is.
True. I know they could have done a crystal version,
They could have.
but yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
just me wanting those games to be in 3D more than I guess other people. Because like
Yeah,
it went. I mean, they made Fire Red and Leaf Green. Then they did the next reboot they did was Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Then it just went all the way to what was it? Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That's like the next reboot, right? They just jumped
yeah.
around with
Did they
reboots.
skip a generation?
No, they didn't
The
because
next
they did
generation is
Let's
black and
Go
white,
Eevee.
right?
Well, the next generation after Sinnoh, which is Gen 4, is Gen 5, which is black and white.
Is that Unova, or am I just going crazy?
Yeah. That's Unova.
Um,
I guess
yeah.
that's the
So,
next reboot.
I would be excited for a black and white game to come out. I mean, I played Diamond and Pearl, but you know, I don't know. Black and white is just so. We're not saying that it is going to come out. I'm just assuming so because it made remakes for every single other game.
Yeah,
But it will be interesting
and that
how
was
they do
made
black
like
and white.
2012, right?
Yeah. So it'll probably be a few years before they do a remake for black and white, but um definitely intrigued by that. Um I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to pick up I'll probably pick up Pokemon Arceus just because it seems like a really cool game.
Well, it takes place in like the past of the Sinnoh region, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And it has different Pokemon and starters than it usually does.
Yes.
Sorry,
So I
didn't.
guess my choice is made of picking up Pokemon Arceus and just passing Diamond and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So unless one of you all in the comics want, not the comics, the
Our
comments,
comment section
yes,
from now on is called the comics section.
no,
Confirmed.
no way. Um, if one of you all in the comment section would like to convince me otherwise, just because I don't know. Like I've heard good things about it, but I haven't heard like, oh, you
Amazing.
need to get this. You need to play this game. I've just heard, oh, it's a good game. So if one of you all would like to make a case, or if you would like a review, like for sure, I will go buy it if you can convince me. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not much else to say today, I don't think.
Well, I mean, we covered a lot. It's been about, I want to say, an hour and
Yeah.
like 10 minutes. I mean, I think that's about it.
All right, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Comment down below what you're excited for, or maybe anything in this video. Actually, William, I always do the bad comment thing, so you need to come up with a question for today, like an ultimate question. Which
Okay.
I guess we had a lot of questions, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, I had to say, which, let's see, I'll say this. Here we go. Which December release are you most excited for? Arceus, Halo Infinite, the
Wait,
rest of
it
Hawkeye?
comes out January though.
Oh, my bad.
January.
I misheard you. Which release do you... Okay. That's rough. Okay, here we go. I got this.
You got this.
Are you guys excited for Halo Infinite to release? There you go. That's all I have. How was that?
That's good. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hope you all enjoyed, and we're excited to see you next time. If you have any video ideas, put them down below. Like the video, and if you've been listening to us for a while or maybe new, consider subscribing.
Yes. Subscribe, and you will see more of our, actually hear more of our beautiful voices.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see you guys next time.